Sekeres Price, looking at the Pacific Division after day one of free agency, and look, we know things can change here, trades can go down, more signings can occur, but I got to think the Vancouver Canucks feel really good about the way day one fell in the Pacific Division. Calgary got worse. Johnny Gaudreau signs in Columbus, nothing in return. Got to replace a 115-point player. Vegas had to give away Max Pacioretty because of their cap concerns. Seattle signed Burakovsky, but they haven't, they're not difference makers. Anaheim wasn't all that active. They may well trade their starting goaltender, John Gibson. San Jose, deep rebuild there. Edmonton, LA, two playoff teams from last year, I think, are both demonstrably better than Vancouver. But I absolutely think that the Canucks are in the mix next year for a Pacific Division playoff berth.
So you're throwing the beeper on? You're just asking the Canucks to back into the playoffs here? Is that what's happening?
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily sure it's a back in.
First of all,
I think they could have home ice advantage, be the number 2 team in the division.
You did say there's more time left, but
for sure
you have to play the odds here. What are the chances there was not a decent fill-in for Johnny Gaudreau in Calgary? I have to believe there's something coming. I have to believe it's at least 50-50 on them signing a Kadri or anybody, somebody that can fill that gap. And in the case of Kadri, if they were to win the Kadri sweepstakes, I think there's a way you could debate they even get better than they were with Gaudreau, with a gritty player that can perform in the playoffs. I think a full season of Jack Eichel, proper preparation. If Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson get concessions for their late start to the season, and what does Jack Eichel get? My goodness, he gets a total free pass. I think they're still a good team. I think they're certainly battling with the Canucks. Yeah. I think it's still going to be tough sledding.
Yeah, I just I'm not sure I love what's going on in Vegas from a culture standpoint anymore. I think they've lost some of their depth there. We'll see how Robin Lehner gets along with his new coach next year. I hear you about Calgary, but Calgary just seems to be up and down. Every time I think Calgary's going to be bad, they're good. Every time I think they're going to be
it is up and down.
They're bad. LA still needs to score with Kevin Fiala. They're counting on some young players to score. And, I do think Edmonton with the goaltender now is probably the class of the Pacific Division. But, hey, if the Canucks aren't putrid in the first 25 games last year, they're a playoff team. And, run this group back, some improvement from within. I think they can get there in the Pacific, too, next year.